Hey guys, MugenLord here, and today I want to talk about EA. Now, EA is not really like my favorite company at all, and I hardly even talk about them here, but EA has always been the villain of the gaming industry because they've been notorious, especially when it comes to their sports titles with their crazy ass monetization schemes that they have always been successful with, and I believe that they pretty much pioneered that in a sense for consoles, because ever since they became successful with monetization with their games, other companies seeing the billions of dollars that they rake in every year, they decided that, hey, if they can make money off of this, that means there's money here to be made when it comes to our titles and how we monetize the titles that we release. And they always been that problem. Well, I wanted to pretty much talk about them here because EA has confirmed that they've been actively working to put advertisements inside their gaming experience. And you already know how this is going to end up turning out, especially in-game advertisements and pop-ins. And we'll definitely discuss that because another company has been notorious for doing that, but they blamed it on a bug. So before we even dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So we're going to dive right into it. It's from Bounty into Comics. They talk about it here where it says Electronic Arts CEO confirms company actively working to put advertisements inside our gaming experiences. So let's go. Let's continue. Just when it seemed like modern video gaming landscape couldn't get any more bleak than it already is, along comes Electronic Arts Andrew Wilson with their revelations that the company is actively looking to start placing real-world advertisements inside our game experience. And this is what I'm talking about here. Now, I mentioned before in a video about last year in 2023, before Black Friday came about, we talked about Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed. And I've talked about Assassin's Creed and talked about Ubisoft for plenty of times here on this channel. You already know how I feel about them, but they have done this when it came to Assassin's Creed, where we had intrusive I would say advertisement that just kept popping up and reminding people to buy Assassin's Creed on the deals and the discounts that they had for Black Friday, and it was interrupting the gaming experience in the middle of gameplay. And here it is, now we have EA. I'm not surprised for them to even attempt to do something like this, and it goes to show how corporate video games has become. So we're going to move forward. Now it says the intrusive plan for the Star Wars Jedi series publisher Future was first divulged by Wilson during a question and answers portion of the company Q4 2024 earnings call as held on May 7th. Fielding one final question before as the call drew to close, Wilson was pressed by Goldman Sachs analyst, I'm just hearing Goldman Sachs, analyst Eric Sheridan for his thoughts on the market opportunity for more dynamic ad insertions across more traditional AAA games across different formats, and how you think that it might be revenue opportunity over the medium to long term. And this is what I'm talking about, man. This is just concerning to me, because these people, and like I said, I understand if you took business classes, business 101, a sole purpose for a company to survive is to make money. That is how it is, to make money. That's all it's about. And ever since video games had pretty much became mainstream, it's even more popular than Hollywood and any other forms of entertainment. This is what happens. You get parasites. You get these investors that come in and don't respect that gaming is an art form, you know? And a lot of developers who went into the gaming industry and wanted to be game designers wanted to express their vision in their art. And now it has become more corporate. This is what this is about. How can we throw more ads to sell more things to people through our games and through our entertainment? And it sucks. So it says, I think it's still early on that front. And we have to look over the course of our history to be very, very thoughtful about advertising in the context of our play experience. But again, as we think about the many, many billions of hours spent playing, both playing, creating, watching, and connecting, and where much of that engagement happens beyond the bounds of traditional game experience, our expectation is that advertising has an opportunity to be a meaningful driver of growth for us. We'll be very thoughtful as we move into that. But we have teams internally in the company right now looking at how do we do very thoughtful implementation inside our game experiences. He then concluded, but more importantly, as we start to build community and harness the power of the community beyond the bounds of our games, how do we think about advertising as the growth driver in those types of experiences? And I think that's the problem here, man. We don't need any more advertisements. Every time you go online or you play a live service game, you see all kinds of intrusive type of advertisements. I think the one that really got me the most, especially it got bad when the fighting game industry started doing it, especially when Capcom did it with Street Fighter V, when they started adding in, you can put the Capcom Cup logo on your character or Red Bull, and it's put on the weird spots up on like the characters where it just doesn't make sense. But they want to have that. Or while you're waiting in between load times, you see these intrusive ads and pop-ups of these different, type of promotions for these different companies. And I just think it sucks. And the thing is, we wanted to get away from all that just for it now to follow us into video games. Now it says, notably, EA's interest in allowing these titles to be used as real-world advertising platforms is far from a new development. From a small banner from Adidas being placed alongside Fields in FIFA, I mean, that's expected. Also, candidate Barack Obama's presidential campaign across roads of 2008 Burnout Paradise, so we already know right now which way they lean politically. And then so the notoriously greedy corporate publisher has long been attempting to use ad sales as another avenue with which to monetize your games. And though such attempts are regularly and universally rejected by players, the overall negative sentiment towards in-game advertisements has not stopped EA from trying to implement them. Rather, it's led them to try it and be more subtle about it in their methods of doing so. And these, like I said, they make billions of dollars a year. You have to see their revenue stream. When the revenue they generate, as far as like monetization, they make a shit ton of money. So it costs them nothing. Of course, they don't give a damn about what us players think and feel about it when you got people spending billions and billions of dollars in microtransactions. All that is null and void at this point. They don't give a damn because they look at the response and the action from the players rather than what players are actually saying themselves. But that's pretty much essentially it for the article. I mean, as I said before, gaming has become more corporate than anything before, and we're going to start seeing. That's why we're starting to see these whole thing with the ESG investments, which I also covered on my Sweet Baby Inc. video. You need to go check it out when I talk about ESG investments and how that affects the gaming experience as well, and how it also lines up the executive people at the top. They got their money already from engaging in the whole ESG, while developers who's actually developing the game suffer because when the game fails because of all the other greed as far as monetization is concerned. And then you have the social war aspect of it that's incorporated in these games. When these games fail, they lose, these developers, they end up losing their job. They lose everything, while the executives at the top, they already got their money. They already did everything. They got their investment back early off because of the ESG that they had received because of these decisions. So it's par for the course for EA to even consider and think about something like this. We already seen Ubisoft do it, as I said before, and I would expect more game companies to follow suit, especially if EA does it in a way to where it allows them to make a lot of money, a shit ton of money. Because if EA is the trendsetter when it comes to these greedy practices and stuff like that. As I said before, they are the trendsetters here in the West. So if they happen to become successful with it, then I can see the industry following suit with it because they see how they implement it and they seen how they made the most money out of it. But that's pretty much my overall thoughts about this. I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment sections below. What do you think about EA and their way of trying to find subtle ways in order to put real life advertisements in our games and in their games? So definitely hear your thoughts. Do you have any favorite EA games? When was the last EA game that you have ever played? Definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord, signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.